Go.
Go.
By far, one of the most important factors making money from day trading is having a strategy you can stay consistent to and that makes money over time. The biggest reason that day traders fail is because they either don't have a strategy they can stay consistent to, therefore they switch strategies all the time, or just place random trades while they lose money in their account. Or they have a strategy, but it doesn't make money. So they place trades with a losing strategy until they get too frustrated to continue. So I thought, why not shoot a video that can fix that? And that is why in today's video, I'm going to be showing you my favorite and what I consider to be the best day trading strategy.
Well, hindi ko pala na-flip kanina.
Sige lang. Walang kaso.
And that way, no matter where you are in your trading journey, by the end of this video, you have a complete understanding of this strategy, and hopefully that will get you one step closer to accomplishing your trading goals. So if that sounds good, go ahead and smash that like button for me. Go ahead and hit subscribe. If you are new to come out with content like this each and every week, if you're already subscribed, welcome back. See you on the other side of the intro. This way. In order for you to make money trading this strategy, you must understand how to identify trends on a price chart. For that reason, throughout the majority of the beginning of this video, it's going to be focused on teaching you how to identify trends correctly on a price chart. But we are also, at the beginning of the video, going over a live trade I had using this strategy yesterday, so you can see that I use it in real markets with my real account, and also you can see how I use it in real time. Then we're going to dive into that trade identification lesson. Then we're going deep in the entire strategy itself. There's a timestamp beside these sides. If you already know how to identify trends after watching the live trade, feel free to jump ahead to the actual strategy. So with that said, go ahead and dive into
Dami.
the I'll be right back.
Walo.
Bro.
Walo.
So we
Walo.
are Canada 5-minute chart, looking at a trade continuation trade that's based on the strategy that you're going
Teka lang, 2 turn clock na yan eh.
I'm going to have to wait to see this market either hit my stop or hit my target. As you can see, I'm already in the trade. But with the power of editing, you can see that right about. So as you can see here on the Aussie Canada 5-minute chart, this trade has been working out perfectly, pushing down and hitting our targets for about a 2.4 to 1 reward to risk ratio, and making in over a couple of $1,000 over a very short amount of time. So just a couple of hours here, using the day trading strategy you're about to learn throughout this video. And we are going to completely break down this trade and the entire strategy a little later in the video, but right now, as I said earlier, the way you'll be able to make money using this strategy is by understanding how to identify a trending market. So let's dive deep into identifying trends on a price chart. Just to be clear, I do not only use this strategy for day trading, I also only use it in the Forex market. This is a strategy I use across all time frames and across the stock, Forex, and crypto market that I trade in. So now that that's clear, let's get started by explaining the difference between major and minor swing levels, because that is something that's absolutely necessary for you to be able to identify trends in the Forex market correctly. So, first of all, major swing levels, they are top and the bottom of our impulsive move. Let me explain. An impulsive move would look like this. Here's the bottom of our impulsive move. This is the move that breaks through the previous structure. That would be our impulsive move. So the bottom of this is a major. The top of this move would also be a major. Now, as we get this back, the bottom
Yung ano, draw 3. Tapos isa sa kamay, isa sa exile. Sige.
push up as we break through.
Go dyan, go dyan.
We get the top of an impulsive move. This is a major swing level. Then we pull back, the bottom of the pullback, major swing level. And the new structure high, as we push up here and break into new highs, is another major swing level. So there's not really any way to make this completely objective. And I know that sucks. I know it's a lot easier with completely objective rules, but I've not found a way to make this completely objective yet. This is the way I identify major swing levels, top and the bottom of my impulsive move. Remember, in a trending market can look like this, this, up, this, up, and the levels we're paying attention to are major swing levels during a trading market.
Swing.
Here, once we break through that high, once we break through that high, we can't see the market come down and break through the lowest low of the pullback. If it does, then we do not consider this market still an uptrend. But as long as we stay above it, like we have here, then we are considered still in an uptrend, especially when we come up and start breaking into new highs. That confirms the continuation of that uptrend. So major swing levels in this case would be our initial starting point, our new structure high, pullback, our new structure high. Now, the thing is, you're not going to know if this is a major structure level or a major swing level, a major swing level until we break into new highs. And that's just because this is the level we don't want to see broken by trend. So we need to see the market break into new highs before we know that our pullback levels are the bottom of the pullback. There's no way to know that this is the bottom of the pullback until we break into new highs, because the pullback could continue, right? So with that being said, hopefully now you understand what major swing levels, in terms of minor swing levels, would be everything you see in between. So this would be considered a minor swing level. This, minor swing level, minor swing level, minor swing level. In terms of a trending market, we do not pay attention to that. We do not use those for anything. We'll do a bearish example now, though. And what I want you to do
Darcy
while we're looking is try the major and minor swing levels for yourself. I'll give you about 5 seconds you need to, and try to point those out before I do. Hopefully you pause this video and have those pointed out now, but this is how drawing out major swing levels in this bearish example would look. We would have starting point up here as a major swing level. The market would go down, go away. An impulsive move must break previous structure. So now that we have this big move down, we can see actually growth of previous level structure. We know this is an impulsive move. Then we get a pullback, and we don't know that this is the top of the pullback until what? Until we actually break through this support level. Once we do, we can now count this as a major swing level as well. So a major swing level, and we know that now this is a major swing level. Once we break through that, we continue pushing down, and here, major swing where this heavy pullback starts. Now what our next swing level would be.
Ilan pa hawak? Apat, no? Apat yan, no? Apat.
Apat.
After that, the next impulsive move we have. Remember, impulsive move must break our previous level, our previous major swing level. So if we draw a line over here, you can tell that this would be our next drawing point. This major swing level. A lot of you probably said this was a major swing level, but we don't have a break of our previous major swing level right over here. So with that being the case, there's no way that we can count this as a major swing level.
Excuse me.
We draw out this trend, then the top of the pullback will be a major swing level. Pushing down, we have to break and close below structure. We do that right here.
Delirium.
Down,
Okay.
and this is our next major swing level. What's the next thing you need to see?
Black dalawa.
We're going to find another major swing level. We need to wait for the break of
3.
this level
Level
here.
2.
3.
We get a break of that level.
Oh.
We can find our next swing level.
Range.
And then continue looking
Dala
major
to.
swing levels in order to determine
Antap.
trends in a specific market. Now again, there's no way to have this completely objective, and it's something that you will just have to spend time learning and understanding. Let me show you an example of that. One of the things that I was talking about is this, right? We have a situation where we have what? Major swing level here, because it's the bottom of an impulsive move. As we push down from our pullback, bottom of the impulsive move, pullback, break. This is our impulsive move. So the bottom of that is determined once we get this big push up, we break above this resistance. With that being the case, this is definitely a major swing level. This is definitely a major swing
Zero
level.
ambitions.
And in terms of this now being a reversal, we're considering this market to be in a possible reversal until we break and close below here. And this being a major swing level, what's our next major swing level? The bottom of the pullback, right? But we can't call this the bottom of the pullback yet. Why? Because we don't know if it's going to be the bottom of a pullback. To show you an example, if we move this market forward, you'll you'll see that we start to get
Purchase mo ilan?
more low than the previous level. So now is that
Ilan ang? Dalawa na
Purchase
lang.
hand?
Ay, sorry. Apat, sorry Teo. Apat.
So if they hit play, just kidding. Replay doesn't want to play right now. Still not working. Okay. I guess you'll just have to hear a bunch of clicks. As you can see, we eventually drop down
Swing.
lower at this point. So now we still can't consider this the bottom of a pullback. Reason being, we haven't broken above this level. So we still have to wait and see if we can
Dalawa.
eventually break through this previous resistance level.
One?
Once we get a break,
Ilan ba yan? Ilan ba yan?
Tatlo.
Tatlo na lang.
Tatlo.
then we
Oh,
know
tatlo.
that
Down to one.
level. And this being the case, this only being known after the break of this
Go.
resistance level is totally fine because the only reason we're using this major swing level is to identify that the trend is still intact. At this point, since we have identified this as a major swing level, we have our low to high, our major swing level after we see the break through this, we now know that we are still in an uptrend. No matter what happens in between, consolidation, unless we break through our previous major swing level. That's why it's okay that we have to wait for a break of this high in order to identify this as a major swing level, because the reason we're using this major swing level is just to give us an idea that this trend is still intact. So we need to make sure that the market and price in general stays above this swing level so that we can clearly identify that this trend is still intact no matter what happens in between. As long as we stay above 1.2144, then we are still considered to be in an uptrend. And that's the way we're using these major swing highs and lows. Hopefully that makes sense. Now what I want to do is walk you through trending markets and kind of give you a lot of examples of trending markets that help you more clearly identify trend in your own trade. So let's do that. Okay, so here we are on the Euro Aussie 4-hour chart. As you can see, in a normal situation, this would be kind of difficult to determine the overall trend of this market in certain situations, right? I mean, as you can tell, yeah, we're going
17?
like uptrend, I guess you could say. But there's a lot of choppiness in between here, and this is the reality of markets. It's not what you see on YouTube when people are cherry picking stuff. I do too. There's nothing
End of turn.
you're trying to
Both.
show. But what helps traders more, in my experience, is showing examples that look like normal market situations. Not like this. So let's draw this out with the rules that we have.
Silip lang, delirium.
Right down. So this was our starting point. We're going up, impulsive leg to a swing high. We have a swing low to a major swing high. At this point, what are we waiting? We're waiting on the bottom of the pullback
Draw.
to be our major swing low. Be the bottom of our pullback. The only reason we know that is because it breaks here. So at this point,
Nakuha kanina sa Serum Visions.
is to our
Yun na nga lang talaga eh. Pag walang ball,
the next major
makaka-recover ako pag walang ball.
break